four of the best high school bowlers in southern and eastern Wisconsin taking to the lanes to practice here. 2018 Top Gun Boys Championship. I'm Phil Brylow, Motion Plus Lanes of Cudahy, once again the site for this prestigious event. The champion will take home a $100 Visa gift card, a full custom high five gear jersey, a championship medal from Trophy Athletic. Semi-final match ready to roll here from Motion Plus Lanes of Cudahy. Why just watch the action when you can be part of the action at Sabre Laser Tag in Pewaukee? Take the challenge in one of two 5,500 square foot arenas. Battle it out with family and friends using realistic military-style weapons. Come out and celebrate a birthday. Bring out your employees or coworkers for team building. Or take advantage of our specials running Monday through Thursday. Check us out on the web at sabertag.com. We brought in 48 of the best high school boys bowlers from southern and eastern Wisconsin here to Motion Plus Lanes today. And we're down to our final four competing for the Top Gun High School Invitational Boys Championship. Here at Motion Plus Lanes, I'm Phil Brylow, taking you through the show here. Zach Sasser out of Wilmot leading things off, the only lefty on the telecast. High revs, the smooth stroke, and 10 in the pit for Sasser to start. Format of the semifinal similar to what you saw for the girls Top Gun Invitational. Four bowlers enter, top two scorers out of this game advance into the championship match. Quinn Sheehy out of Sun Prairie, you saw him earlier this year with his Sun Prairie team as they took home the 2017 High School Kickoff Classic here from here at Motion Plus Lanes. And Sheehy, the week 10 on lane 9, start off his game. See him immediately going to the polyester bowling ball. As you watch that ball finish just a bit behind the head pin. 3-pin sends the 6 right into the flat gutter, no chance to recover. And with the interchangeable thumb we see for many of these bowlers on our telecast nowadays, gives you the same fit from ball to ball. And no problem with the direct approach covering up that 10-pin for Sheehy. Justin Smith, bowls for Kenosha Tremper. We've seen him recently on the Midwest High School Classic shows. His team finishing in second place this year, losing out in the two-game total pin championship match to Indian Trail when we were at Castle Lanes in Racine. Smith, the only two-hander on the show today. Lots of ball speed, lots of revolutions, and it helps him break up a possible bucket. Takes down the 2, the 5, and the 8 pins, leaving just the 4. And direct at that 4 pin to take it down. Number 4 seed coming into our semifinal match, Andy Gross. Andy, part of the team that took down the high school Division I Boys Championship for Germantown in the beginning of March up in Wausau. First state championship brought home to Germantown. And a 10-pin, similar to what we just saw Quinn Sheehy leave, with the 6-pin doing nothing once it entered the flat gutter. See the amount of deflection that bowling ball had. Needs to get that roll a bit stronger into the pocket if Gross is going to have any chance of carrying consistently in this match. Cross lane at the spare, not a problem covering it up. Sasser going to be attending UW Whitewater next year, as he's finished his senior year at Wilmot High School and the Ring 7. Sasser, number 1 qualifier onto the TV show, had his option of where he wanted to bowl out of the 4 players in the semifinal match. He decided to take the leadoff position, let his opponents worry about the scores that are up on the board at the end of the game. Once again, interchangeable thumb, polyester bowling ball, and very unique roll that Sasser has on his spare ball. End over end, you hear that thumb and finger holes getting clipped all the way down on that roll as everyone gets a good laugh about it, about the noise that was made. But when you know that ball is not going to hook, by going truly end over end and having just enough distance to take down the 7. We saw it in our girls' semifinals on our last show. Key to this semifinal, filling frames, keeping the score sheet clean. Sheehy, 2 state high school team titles in his career, but not in 2018. Sun Prairie made the top 5, but finished in 3rd position once all was said and done. 2nd position in 2017 and back-to-back championships for Sun Prairie in 2015 and 2016. So a heck of a college career for Sheehy. Justin Smith, he had a big 290 game to start off the stepladder finals at the Boys High School State Singles Championship in Wausau, but fell in the following match to finish in 4th position. Andy Gross does live his bowling at Classic Lanes in Menominee Falls. 1 300 game to his credit. You can see it scrambling the 10 pins down like that. More 300s on his way. And more bowling coming to you from Motion Plus Lanes as our semifinal match for the 2018 Boys Top Gun Championship rolls on after this break.
Providing premier equipment sales and services to Wisconsin bowlers since 1973. Check out our Wall of Fame and our current specials at bpsmilwaukee.com.
'18 Boys Top Gun High School Invitational Championship semifinal match rolling through the commercial break to stay on time. Here from Motion Plus Lanes, Zach Sasser. Bad break with the stuffed 10 pin. And a shot that just had a little too much angle at the end. No problem covering up the spare for Sasser. Quinn Sheehy and stepped up in his 3rd frame. Ball a little left of target, catches friction early, leaves the 6-10, and no problem covering up the spare for Sheehy as we get back to the action here. From Motion Plus Lanes in Cudahy, once again want to thank the sponsorship of Sabre Laser Tag in Pewaukee. If you haven't had a chance to visit out there yet, in the old American building right off of I-94 and Highway F in Pewaukee, lots of great family fun. Best laser tag in Wisconsin by far, Justin Smith tagging all 10 pins down on that shot, and our first double of the day from these players thrown by Justin Smith. Andy Gross stepping up now. Gross, part of that team at the high school state tournament for Germantown, took out Sun Prairie in the semifinal match, and then in the championship match took down Racine Park. 2-game total of 402 pins against Park's 387 pins to take home Germantown's first championship for high school state team. Amherst took home the boys title in Division II, taking out Peshtigo in the championship match, 372 to 363 for that 2-game total pin match. Zach Sasser led District 3A, which consists of the high school programs in Racine and Kenosha counties, with a 90% fill percentage, and you can see right there why. Sasser struck 62.8% of the time in district competition in 2018 season. And with a great mix like that, didn't leave himself too many spares to shoot. Only 10% of Sasser's frames were left open during the season. But an even better fill percentage put up here by Quinn Sheehy in District 4, which is most of Dane County and some of the surrounding areas. Sheehy, only 7% of his frames were left open out of 229 total frames bowled 150 of those frames being strikes, a 65% strike percentage, but he needs to find that strike percentage right now to advance out of the semifinal match. 4 frames, only 1 strike on the board so far for Sheehy. A couple of 10 pins contributing to that low strike percentage. See Sheehy taking some out of the ball a little bit, getting the hand to relax, and takes that 10 pin. Bounces it out of the pit a little acrobatically, but keeps himself in that tight spot for second place currently. Justin Smith, leader after 3 frames, looking to extend his string of strikes to 3. Smith, 86% fill percentage this year in District 3A. Only 13% of his frames were left open during the season. 58% on the strike percentage for Smith. Andy Gross. Gross 3rd overall in fill percentage in District 1, which is Milwaukee and Waukesha counties in high school bowling. Gross only 9% of his frames left open, 57% of his frames, as shown on that last shot. A big strike for Gross, and he keeps himself in that second position, but just by a single pin over Sasser and Sheehy as we enter the High 5 Gear 5th frame. $25 High 5 Gear gift certificates on the line. Striking the High 5 Gear 5th frame, get yourself the gift certificate. Zach Sasser, no problem with getting the strike and $25 from High 5 Gear. And we mentioned Justin Smith shooting .290 in his opening match. The Wisconsin High School State Boys Singles Competition. His victim that opening game was Zach Sasser. Sasser put up .222, so you know Sasser looking for a little revenge out on the lanes today as Quinn Sheehy steps up here in the High 5 Gear 5th frame. That's moving high again. We saw him go high in the 3rd, and a much worse result. Unfortunately for Sheehy, you don't get the gift certificate for leaving a 5 count at the end of the lanes. Must be a strike to get that gift certificate from High 5 Gear, but the Greek Church 4, 6, 7, 9, and 10. And conversion rate on this for a young player of Sheehy's ability of less than 1%. It's pretty easy. You get 4 out of this. Bounce the 6 pin off the 9 pin and hope to get a bounce in the 4-7 zone. Unfortunately for Sheehy, no bounce and 8 out. The 5th frame puts Sheehy in a large hole. With this competition working on strikes, Sasser already working on a double. Smith working on 3 in a row, looking to get it out to 4. And the big packed 10 back for Smith. Another $25 from High 5 Gear. You see 3 or 4 young players wearing those great High 5 Gear jerseys. Get your style your way, because it's your game, your passion, your gear from High 5 Gear. And Andy Gross looking to make it 3 out of 4 gift certificates in the High 5 Gear 5th frame. Good online 10 back. Another $25 from High 5 Gear, and another commercial break from us here at Motion Plus Lanes in Cudahy. Rest of our semifinal match for the 2018 Boys Top Gun High School Invitational Championship will roll on after this break.
Why do we have so many of our televised tournaments at Castle Lanes? Because we love being part of the wild side of bowling. If you're ready to get in touch with your wild side, go to castlelanes.com. Barbiere's Italian Inn, featured in onmilwaukee.com's In Search of the Perfect Pizza in January 2013. Near Miller Park on Blue Mountain Road and on Milwaukee Avenue in South Milwaukee.
We've reached the halfway point for our semifinal match for the 2018 Boys Top Gun High School Invitational Championship. Justin Smith, Andy Gross, the top 2 scorers at this point that would advance to the championship match if it would have ended after 5 frames. But this man, Zach Sasser, has something to say about it. Just 1 pin behind Smith getting into this frame. And now puts Andy Gross into the 3rd position. three-bagger on the board for Sasser. We mentioned Sasser's individual accomplishment at the high school state tournament. His team from Wilmot Union finished in 4th position, losing out to Pestigo. 365-311 in that second round stepladder match. Take home 4th in Division II, and a great shot there by Sheehy, and it's just going to take a piece of your soul, rip it out, and throw it in the gutter. Quality shot, leaves that solid 8. We saw in our girls show, solid 8 pin cost Olivia Komorowski a chance of advancing into the championship match, and with Sheehy already over 25 pins behind the bowler in second place, he really needed to start stringing strikes, but right now all you can do is compose yourself, pick up the spare, and move on. Still has a possible 222 out there if you were to strike out the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th frame, so Sheehy might be 37 pins behind second right now, but still has a chance to get himself back in this match. Justin Smith working on 4 in a row. Big start to his game, trying to punch his ticket early in the championship match, and unfortunately on that shot, gave it the fingers a bit early through the shot. Lots of revolutions. And with giving it that bit extra, he's running into trouble here. Not just the baby split, but you see that 9-pin sleeper rocking and rolling back there. And this makes the spare exponentially tougher to convert. But what a quality clutch shot by Smith on the 3-9-10. Picks it up, keeps himself in the #1 spot in this match. And the last thing you want to do is give any of your opponents a chance at gaining momentum to pass you on an open, and Smith prevents that nicely with a great conversion. Andy Gross keeping the string going. That is 3 in a row for Gross. Puts himself back into second position, but Sasser only 1 pin behind with 4 frames remaining. 3 300 games to Zach Sasser's credit. There was a lot of his bowling in Burlington at Town and Country Lanes, and unfortunately for Sasser on that shot, ball approaches the pocket a little too late. And watch the replay. You'll see the deflection, even with the high revs and solid ball speed that Sasser has. Ball is deflected too much, and that 7-pin stands in defiance. Still keeps himself within striking range with the conversion of this spare. And Sasser, once again, switches to the polyester ball. You hear the thumping over the finger and thumb holes, but that time the ball too far left, goes in the gutter, and an inopportune open for Sasser now puts him a minimum of 14 pins behind Andy Gross for second place. But it's not just that. It's Gross working on a double, can really extend his advantage over Sasser on his next step up. Quinn Shee, 6 300 games to his credit, high series of 857. And Shee's still having problems with going high on that left lane. And it was a little different on our girls telecast, if you remember on our last show here on Spectrum Sports. Lane 10 developed the hook spot that a couple of our young players struggle with. Lane 9 seemed to play a little tighter during the show. Now for our right-handed players today, lane 9 started to develop the hook spot, and that's more of a shot of frustration there by Sheehy, and he's pretty much locked himself out of advancing into the championship match. But our 3rd and 4th place bowlers today still taking home a $50 Visa gift card thanks to our hosts here, the Catania family at Motion Plus Lanes. Also a $25 High Five Gear gift certificate thanks to Todd Molbeck and his staff at High Five Gear. And a championship medal from Trophy Athletic, as you see Justin Smith back striking again after the great conversion of that 3, 9, 10 in the 6th. Bounces back, 10 back in the 7th, and he's looking to punch his ticket into the championship match. Andy Gross, see that follow through going to the left, the face, as you see with a lot of young players in high school, college bowling, and the PBA Tour. Nowadays, they really get that upper body into a well-leveraged position. And with the eyes out into the target area, the follow-through going left of the face really lets that swing slot up nicely at the bottom and lets the bowler get all those revolutions with minimal effort. Good conversion there by Gross. Keeps himself in the second position. 13 pin advantage over Sasser. 52 over Shi, but Sasser can still strike out for 236 and really put some pressure right back on Andy Gross. 5 steps, the long, lanky Zach Sasser scrambles the rack up, pins flying left, right, center, all go down, and Sasser 2 frames left. Try to get himself into the championship match. Once again, Trophy Athletic providing all of our awards for our players here at the Boys High School Top Gun Invitational. Medals received by players that finished in the top 8, along with the merchandise prizes are being received for our 4 TV finalists. And Sheehy, the struggle continues, another 10 pin, and now you see the smirk on his face. He knows his day's pretty much over. Just a matter of trying to finish off strong on TV. Prove to the world why you got here, but we've seen Quinn quite a few times on television. He's a quality young player that's going to be joining Zach Sasser at UW Whitewater. And if you follow college bowling, you know that powerhouse that Whitewater has become over the last few seasons. Impressive for a program that's considered a club sport at their college. Students fund their own program. You get some assistance from the school. Of course, having the Warhawk lanes right on campus makes it easy for those young UW Whitewater players to practice and stay sharp as they're trying to take home another intercollegiate team championship. As we were taping this telecast, they're waiting to bowl their sectional in Smyrna, Tennessee for the men's program. Women's program was bowling in Fairview Heights, Illinois, as both those teams try to make the USBC Intercollegiate Team Championships. That'll finish off in April. Smith, no problem with the 10 pin. It's actually a house ball he took off the lanes at Sheridan Lanes, with permission, of course. The speed and rev rate, that polyester bowling ball that Smith's using flattens out nicely to convert the corner pins. Andy Gross, another strike getting into the commercial break for Gross. Just 2 frames remaining in our semifinal match. 2 spots to advance to our championship. Who's going to take those 2 spots? Looks like Justin Smith for sure. It'll be a battle out for the other spot. Join us after this break to see who's going to the finals.
Live, on demand, worldwide, Extra Frame is always on. It's the online bowling channel. Watch live qualifying rounds and match play from every PBA Tour stock and every PBA 50 Tour event on your big screen, PC, mobile phone, or tablet. Archived nationally televised shows and content is available 24/7. Extra Frame is always on. Subscribe now at www.extraframe.tv.
Final 2 frames, the 2018 Boys Top Gun High School Invitational Championship semifinal match. Zach Sasser stepping up. Sasser needs to strike early and often. Put pressure on Andy Gross. Justin Smith looks like he's locked up his spot in the championship match. And a different kind of 10 pin than what we saw Sasser leave earlier on lane 9. In the 3rd frame, Sasser with the packed 10. This time, the light 10, watch the head pin go to the sideboard and runs interference on the 5 and 6. With the ball speed and revolutions these young players generate, sometimes that excessive speed can be a detriment when the head pin runs interference and other pins, taking out the corners on light hits, but the cover by Sasser still leaves Sasser 13 pins behind with 1 frame remaining, and Andy Gross working on a strike, so Gross can get himself into a great position when it's his turn in the 9th frame by putting a strike on the board for a double. Quinn Sheehy, he's going to be taking home 4th place prizes today, the $50 Visa gift card for Motion Plus Lanes and the $25 High Five Gear gift certificate, a 4th place medal from Trophy Athletic. And she bowled great all day, just finding some struggles on TV. Now makes the correction from 3 straight shots going high, and he goes light, crumbles the bucket down to just a 4-pin. But when you only have 1 game to show your worth on TV, and you struggle with back-to-back shots on a lane, sometimes it's tough to get out of the situation and advance into the next match, and we've seen that for Sheehy here in the semifinal. Justin Smith, you see, getting himself set up on the approach, keeps that right shoulder low and down so the swing can stay loose. Yes, even though it's 2 hands, still a swing backwards using that front hand as the guide. And you see Smith a little surprised there on that shot. He thought he was going to be flush in the pocket. The ball crept up slightly high. 2-pin goes around the 4-pin. An easy spare for Smith, and the conversion here will lock up his spot into the championship match. Champion here today taking home a $100 Visa gift card thanks to Motion Plus Lanes, a full custom High Five Gear jersey, and a championship medal from Trophy Athletic. Big shot here for Andy Gross. Gross high series of 767. And he puts the huge double on the board, really putting the pressure on Sasser to get all 3 in the 10th frame. Right now, Sasser can shoot .216 with striking out, and that would force Andy Gross to get a mark in the 10th to advance, and a good shot there by Sasser gets the messenger to come back, take the 7 out. Officially puts Quinn Sheehy out of any chance to advance. But another strike and necessity here for Sasser to put any pressure on Andy Gross. Otherwise, Gross will just need a good count on the first ball in the 10th frame to lock up his spot in the championship match. Nice and loose at the line for Sasser. And once again, the head pin running interference on the 5 and 6 pins, and that is going to take Sasser out of the competition. One would think that Justin Smith, Andy Gross will have no problem staying behind the foul line on their first attempts in the 10th frame. And Sasser, you see the look on the way back right now. He knows his day is done. He's going to be taking home 3rd place prize, the $50 Visa gift card, the $25 High Five Gear gift certificate, and the 3rd place medal. Now Quinn Sheehy just looking to make an adjustment. Look good getting off the lanes. It's like going down the 18th fairway in golf. You can put it on the green from the middle of the fairway. Nobody knows what the rest of your round was like. And it was a good start. You see the hands raised in the air and the smile. Knows he peered it off his hand, and he'll learn from this, no doubt about that. She, a young player, bowls in a lot of tournaments around the state of Wisconsin. Numerous titles in the Badgerland Youth Bowlers Tour out in the Madison area. And he wanted to make sure he thanked his parents for all the support they give him with his bowling, including driving him everywhere and coaching him on if he needs it a little bit while he bowls. And another 10-pin for Sheehy, and you can see right there he's a little relaxed on the way back, left hand in the pocket, but not the day he was looking for under the TV lights. But he threw it well all day to get here. Sheehy averaged just over 230 in his 6 games prior to the TV finals. Zach Sasser dominating qualifying rounds. averaging 245 for his 6 games of qualifying. So great bowling all day long by all of our young players. That's going to be our number 3 seed, Justin Smith, and our number 4 seed, Andy Gross, advancing into the championship match. And Smith not happy with that release, but gets it to wheel back. All 10 down, and big shots here for Smith and Gross, because whoever has the highest score coming out of this match will receive lane choice in the championship match. And we have seen some troubles for these players on lane 9, and if I were Justin Smith, I would definitely want my opponent finishing on that lane. Gets the big break on the ball that hooked up earlier. You saw the ball left the target from his last shot. Still manages to get the 4 down, and that's where the speed and rev rate of two-handed players can sometimes help overpower the lane condition. When a young player like Smith can generate his own skid on the lane with the speed and axis rotation, when the lane pattern's breaking down, he'll find himself a quality shot. Goes high on that last shot. Puts 234 on the board. One of our 2 championship match bowlers, Justin Smith, Andy Gross. First shot in the 10th here will lock him up lane choice in the championship match. And Gross, a lot of items on his resume, including in 2017, he finished in 4th place at the high school state singles tournament. And creeps up high on that shot, leaves the 4-pin. So Justin Smith will be our top seed in the championship match. He'll get lane choice. It's going to be interesting to see here for Gross if he's going to make a ball change or any type of experiment on the fill ball, assuming that he picks up the 4-pin, which he does. And he wanted to thank his grandmother and grandfather, Sandy and Phil Laporte. Of course, Phil, lots of years of service in the Wisconsin State Bowling Association. Thanks to his parents, Tim and Linda, for all the support they give him with his bowling. Comes high in the last shot, but our 2 finalists are going to be Andy Gross and Justin Smith as they battle it out for the 2018 Boys Top Gun High School Invitational Championship from here at Motion Plus Lanes. We'll bring you that championship match.
Why do we have so many of our televised tournaments at Castle Lanes? Because we love being part of the wild side of bowling. If you're ready to get in touch with your wild side, go to castlelanes.com. Barbiere's Italian Inn, featured in onmilwaukee.com's In Search of the Perfect Pizza in January 2013. Near Miller Park on Bluemont Road and on Milwaukee Avenue in South Milwaukee.
It's down to the final 2 here. Motion Plus Lanes 2018 Top Gun High School Invitational Boys Championship match. Andy Gross, Justin Smith, the 2 players coming out of the semifinals. Smith with a 234 game, Gross 225. Justin Smith elected to let Andy Gross start the match here on lane 9. Gross, a senior at Germantown High School. Quality start with 10 back. Winner of this match taking home a $100 Visa gift card, a custom high-five gear jersey, and a championship medal. Should be a close battle between these 2 young players. The conventional style of Gross, the two-handed style, Justin Smith. And the ball slices through 1-3 pocket, leaving the 9-pin for Smith. Watch that ball on the replay. Almost leaves the 7-9. Lucky to have that 2-pin take the 7 out in a high fashion. With all the speed and power that Smith generates, we'll need to rein a little of that in to make sure he's getting all 10 down on those flush pocket hits. Both these players fairly even in the tournament prior to their TV appearance. Both averaging over 225 and another 9-pin for Smith, and a little early frustration setting in for the young man. Very similar shot. These players did not receive any practice during the commercial break. So the lanes wouldn't have changed that much. Smith might be finding some transition right now, however. He'll have to make that move to get back in the pocket and carry. I don't think a 200 game on the head will win this championship match when both these young men have been around the pocket most of the day. Andy Gross likes to do a little fishing when he's not out on the lanes. And the early double for Gross, an 11-pin lead. With that shot on lane 10 going 10 back. And with Gross taking a little straighter approach to the pocket, maybe a little easier for him to conquer the transition both these players are starting to see, especially here on lane 9. We saw that hook spot down lane developing late. And just a little late getting into the pocket, a little bit of a wrap 10 for Gross. So he goes back to the rosin bag. Keep that hand dry as these bowlers enter their 8th game of competition here at Motion Plus Lanes this evening. Always tough to keep the mental and physical aspects of the game sharp after a lot of competition in a short period of time like these young players have done, with the championship on the line. It's time to leave it all out on the lanes. Let's see what kind of a move Justin Smith makes here to adjust off the 9-pin. Loves playing the video game Fortnite when he's not on the lanes, and unfortunately for him, a 4-pin left. Not a big enough adjustment made by Smith. You see the wheels turning. He thought he had made a quality shot out of his hand, but the ball still a little high in the pocket. So it's going to take a little more thinking, a little more adjustment by Smith. But he's close in this match, only down by 11 after 3 frames of competition. I want to thank Classic Lanes in Greenfield, Gina Dereshevsky, sponsor of all of our shows and a host of quite a few of our telecasts. Can't wait to get back there for a couple of events in the spring. You'll see here on Spectrum Sports. And another 4-pin, so the adjustments that Smith is making, looks like he tried to get the ball in the oil by moving left, and a little more oil breakdown than he anticipated, as it doesn't take much to have that 4-pin stand still, even with the adjustment he made off of not leaving the 9-pin. But he keeps the score sheet clean, keeps himself close in the match. And it's going to be interesting to see. You see Smith still talking it over to himself in back. Andy Gross wanted to thank his coaches, Joe Sonneman, his dad Tim, for all the coaching during his high school career. Also to Wally Wright at Classic Lanes in Menominee Falls for his coaching assistance during youth leagues there. And unfortunately for Gross, he gets a little quick on the release on that shot. Ball doesn't rev up as strong as we've seen in the past and leaves the dinner bucket, 2, 4, 5, and 8 combination. Should just make a movement off of the strike line. Usually you move 2 or 3 boards to the right with your feet as a right-hander. Use that strike target. He decides to straighten it out and gets a little bit of a break there. Sometimes if you hit left of that 2-pin, the ball will continue to deflect and not take the 8 out. But for Gross that time, watch that 2-pin go straight back. Still takes the 8-pin out. And Gross maintains an 8-pin lead as we enter the high 5 gear 5th frame. Gross 10 back to take care of that rack of pins. Justin Smith looking for his first strike of the match. And he had a good run in the semifinal match. And a 4-bagger in the middle of that game to help secure the #1 position coming out of the semifinal, and a bad break there. Makes the adjustment, shreds the rack. 5-pin misses the 7. Messenger, luckily for Smith, takes out the 10-pin. Otherwise, could have been a large disaster on the score sheet for Smith. And even though the pins aren't agreeing to fall for Justin Smith right now, he's still only 9 pins down in this match. And he still has a possible 246 on the board if he were to strike out. It's always one good bonus about the scoring system in bowling. With the strike awarding 10 pins plus your next 2 shots. Stringing strikes can get you a bunch of pins back in a hurry. And Smith looked like he tried to fight lane 9 with a little extra ball speed that time. Ball comes up light, and the 2-7 combination, one would think this would be a little bit easier for a right-hander than a left-hander, considering they're hooking into the 2-pin. But you can't hit the 2-pin head-on. You need to be able to have the ball bounce off the 2-pin into the 7. And the other issue is overhooking it past the 2-pin, as we see there for Smith. Commercial break, last one of the day. We'll be back from Motion Plus Lanes with the rest of this final. Why just watch the action when you can be part of the action at Sabre Laser Tag in Pewaukee? Take the challenge in one of 2 5,500 square foot arenas. Battle it out with family and friends using realistic military-style weapons. Come out and celebrate a birthday. Bring out your employees or coworkers for team building. Or take advantage of our specials running Monday through Thursday. Check us out on the web at sabertag.com. Big momentum swing getting into the commercial break. Justin Smith only takes the 7-pin out of a 2-7 combination. Andy Gross on the bench has his lead open up to 22 pins. Gross up here in the 6th frame working on a strike in the 5th. Looking to get the lead out to 32 on line, 10 back. Andy Gross calm, cool, collected at this moment. But he knows to chase down this prestigious Top Gun Invitational title to cap off his high school career. That'd be the cherry on top of the bowling Sunday for him this year, with being part of that Germantown State Championship boys team. Gross in the 7th, a little quick out of the hand. Manages to keep it on line. And the trip of the 4-pin and a 42-pin lead for Andy Gross, and now pretty much mandatory strike mode for Justin Smith to keep any pressure on Andy Gross. Smith, his maximum score is still 223 even with the 6th frame open. And he's finding more problems, tries to straighten that shot out again. Ball doesn't come up, and the bucket left to try to convert. Justin Smith bowls out of Sheridan Lanes in Kenosha. Also won the District 3A Singles Championship in 2018 to wrap up the district season in the Racine and Kenosha areas. And Smith gets a little break on that conversion of the dinner bucket. 2-pin goes back into the 8-pin after hooking a little in front of the 2-pin. And the break, a similar shot he had on lane 9 in the 6th. This time head pin comes off the sideboard and takes out the 2-7 combination, and still a little bit of daylight left for Justin Smith, but it's going to take some help from his opponent, who's on a hot hand right now. 3 strikes in a row for Andy Gross. And a 42-pin lead in the 8th frame. Left the target a little slow. And this could be the momentum changer Gross sneaks up a little high in the pocket. No love on the 4 or the 9. You see that 2-pin just going down after getting around the 4, stopping short of the 9. Gross looks like he's giving this one a run. And how about that, ladies and gentlemen? Clutch conversion of the 4-9 to make sure Andy Gross keeps Justin Smith well back in the rearview mirror. Look at that replay. 4-pin just catches the back of the 9. And right now, Andy Gross is basically looking at filling his last 2 frames, and he'll take home this Top Gun High School Invitational Boys Championship. Creeps a little high once again, leaving just the 4-pin. But with a spare here for Andy Gross in the 9th and a mark in the 10th, he's looking at a game in the 220s. Right now, maximum score for his opponent, Justin Smith, 213. As he takes a bit of the scenic route to the 4-pin, but covers it up. And now it is mandatory strike mode for Justin Smith to put any pressure on Andy Gross in the 10th frame. Smith last time on this lane leaves the dinner bucket. He's had a little bit of what we call an over-under reaction here on lane 10, but that time 10 back. Looks like he's made a little bit more of an adjustment left in the front part of the lane, get that ball to push down lane and let his natural power dominate the pin deck. He knew it was a quality shot out of his hand, but he needs 3 more of those here in the 10th frame. Smith wanted to thank his coaches Tim Lewis and Bob DeCicero for all their help during the high school season with Kenosha-Tremper. Smith keeping the dream alive. The first strike in the 10th frame. This might be the last high school competition for these 2 young players, but we'll see them during the summer. Lots of youth competition coming to you once again here on Spectrum Sports with our Road to Gold series beginning in May, taking you through the summer as these young players get ready for great competitions in July and August, including Teen Masters, Junior Gold held by the USBC, lots of youth tournament action nationwide, and we help get the players ready for those competitions here on Spectrum Sports as Justin Smith, light in the pocket, converts to 2-5, but it will not be enough. His 201 game just requires Andy Gross to get 6 on his first ball here in the 10th frame, and Gross is going to take home the Top Gun High School Invitational Boys Championship. And it looks like he's going to take it out in style here. 10 back in the pit. Very businesslike for Gross as he strikes to lock up the championship. $100 Visa gift card. Thanks to our hosts here at Motion Plus Lanes. The fully custom High 5 gear jersey, High 5 gear, and the championship medal, Trophy Athletic, all going home to Andy Gross. Not a bad effort for Justin Smith, just not enough carry early enough in the game to keep him in the match. Smith will be taking home a $50 Visa gift card, the High 5 gear custom jersey, and a second place medal. Thanks to Trophy Athletic, and we'll be back here to wrap this telecast up from Motion Plus Lanes after the short break. There's your champion, Andy Gross out of Germantown.
Providing premier equipment sales and services to Wisconsin bowlers since 1973. Check out our Wall of Fame and our current specials at bpsmilwaukee.com.
Another great battle for the boys' high school Top Gun Invitational Championship here at Motion Plus Lanes. Justin Smith from Kenosha-Tremper struggled with carry early. His opponent, Andy Gross, started with an early double, then a later three-bagger. But then in the 8th frame, the match-saving conversion of the 4-9 split locked up the title for Andy Gross out of Germantown. Next show coming to you here on Spectrum Sports from Lakeshore Lanes, Sheboygan, the 2018 Sean Yonan Memorial Open. Going to be a great show. I'm Phil Brylow. Parents take the kids bowling. They will have fun for life. And congratulations to our champion, Andy Gross.